Hello everybody and welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. Now there's some confusion as to whether this is actually round 6 or round 7, because round 6 was supposed to take part at Imola, but FIA say it is round number 6, Formula 1 say it's round 7, so we're in a bit of a holding pattern as to what could happen. Now, the press conference took part a few hours ago, and we are going to hear from the drivers in a few moments' time with Tom Clarkson. It's going to be absolutely spectacular, so let's get straight into it and join Tom Clarkson for the first half of the press conference.
Very warm welcome to the drivers' press conference ahead of the 2023 FIA Formula 1 Monaco Grand Prix. As you can see, we're joined already by Yuki Tsunoda, Sergio Perez and Kevin Magnussen, and we're hoping we're going to be joined very shortly by Oscar Piastri and Fernando Alonso. But Yuki, perhaps we can kick things off with you, because before we come on to Monaco, a week ago, we were all hoping to be racing in Imola. Of course, that race didn't happen because of the devastating floods there. You've been in Faenza. Can you just describe what you found when you were there?
Yes, first of all, I think everyone was, excited about Imola Grand Prix, especially for our home Grand Prix. All of the Faenza, Imola people were excited, but at the same time we had a massive storm overnight. I would say consistently 3 days, and most of the town where I live in Faenza just completely flooded, just mud everywhere, covered by mud, 70%, more than that probably, and. Yeah, I mean, I was just stay safe in the night when the rain was coming, but I was worried because consistently also the electronic got shut down in my house as well, so I was a bit worried, but luckily my house was okay, but at the same time, the day after when I went to town, it was just complete mud everywhere. Just water was like until 2-3 meters. Ground floor properties was already covered by mud and water. So it was a really huge impact for us, and yeah, it was a really terrible night. Yeah.
Had you seen anything like that in your life before?
No, I saw only maybe in TV, and just never expected the things like that, and the horrible thing will actually happen in front of me. But suddenly happens in front of me. Just completely different feeling of what I was watching in TV. Just so scared. I was consistently have to worry about ground floor. Luckily, I have second floor, so I was staying in second floor all the time. But yeah, just really because helicopters also flying around, and just I can tell that they already start to help the people from the house. The people already got flooded or something like that. Just consistent noise happening around. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, very sad scenes, and we wish everybody in the Emilia-Romagna region well. Let's bring it on to Monaco, though. What can we expect from you and AlphaTauri here? Are you still bringing the upgrades?
Yeah, I think the upgrades we were planning in the Imola will, automatically comes into this Monaco. To be honest, I think it's hard to feel the difference because it's not like the place in downforce requires more towards like mechanical grip. So maybe it's hard to see true performance, true gain, but still looking forward to it. And yeah, completely bodywork changes. So I haven't seen yet, but looking forward to see it, those things, yeah.
Look, final one from me, Yuki. Can we get a word from you on the announcement in Tokyo earlier this week. Honda coming back to Formula One in an official capacity in 2026. What do you think?
Yeah, very excited. As a part of the Honda family, it's good to see them back into the Formula One environment. Obviously, I was actually ashamed. 3 years ago, when they retired after had such a massive year with the Red Bull. So I would say it's good for them. I like their challenges, and I hope they have another successful season with Aston Martin.
Good for them. Good for you. Do you fancy an Aston Martin Honda?
Well, I don't know for now. To be honest, it's too far away to think about. And but yeah, interesting to teams to manufacture. Collab with each other. It's not. I heard it's not the first time, so maybe they can adapt quickly. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see, yeah, of course.
All right, Yuki, thank you. Best of luck this weekend. Fernando, can I bring you in on this? Just get your reaction to the news from Honda.
Hello. Yeah, I mean, very good news for the team, very excited. I think, it shows the commitment of Aston Martin to really win races, win championships in the future, being independent, manufacturing their own gearboxes and everything on the car, and yeah, it's the only way probably to really be 100% sure that you are in control of everything in your package, in your car, and yeah, it's a great sign for everybody in Aston Martin. That the desire and the potential to win is there.
To win world titles, does a Formula One team need its own bespoke power unit?
No. But
you still think this is the right way for the team to go?
I think so, especially in 2026, where the new regulations will come. It is always better if you can develop, I think, your power unit together with the chassis and have everything integrated well in advance, being a works team. I think there are only benefits, but I think that doesn't mean that until 2026 Aston Martin will not have a chance to win the championship.
Okay, well, let's bring it on to Monaco this weekend. Many people are excited about your chances, including people inside your own team. Just how much confidence do you have coming into the weekend?
I think the same as any other race, to be honest. I think we are not thinking that we are the strongest in Monaco. I don't think that it's going to be a huge change compared to Baku, which is still a street circuit. Miami, I think Ferrari was outstanding in Baku. We could see another great weekend for them here. But then, if I tell you that I don't come here thinking that I can win the race, I will lie to you, because this is one-off opportunity. We know Monaco, Singapore, there are specific racetracks that, you need to gain the confidence on the free practice, get closer and closer to the walls. And yeah, I will attack more than any other weekend, yes.
The weather forecast looks mixed, dry or wet. Do you have a preference?
I don't care.
All right, best of luck. Thank you. Kevin, can we come to you now? So Haas, 150 races old this weekend. You've driven in more than 2/3 of those races for the team, 106, I've counted. Time flies.
Yeah, absolutely, time flies. When I think about it, it doesn't seem like that many races and that much time. But it's been a lot of fun, and Haas has been my home in Formula One. It's the first team that I fully established myself with. I had one season with McLaren, one season with Renault, but very much Haas became my home in Formula One, and having a great time.
How has the team changed since you joined it in 2017?
It's changed a lot. I mean, basically, all the setup and the structure in the team is the same with with Dallara and Ferrari. But there's been huge growth and change within the team, the staff, and just the structure of the personnel, how it's all structured between who works at Ferrari, who works at Dallara, and in England and in the US. There's been a lot of change, but I think Haas is a team that came into Formula One as a real new team. They didn't buy an entity. They didn't go in and buy a factory and all those things. It was set up completely from scratch, and I think in a very interesting way, a different way to all the other teams, and it's been a big success, I would say, what Gene and Gunther have done.
Pick a highlight for us, or can we guess what that was?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only time we got P1 was in qualifying in Brazil last year, and what we're all here to do and what we all dream about is getting the best out of it and finishing in front. And certainly, pole position is not what I dreamt about as a kid. That wasn't like the end goal, but for sure, so far, it was a very big surprise. To get pole position in a Haas. It's not something that I think anyone could expect, and that was certainly a highlight.
Let's bring it on to this weekend. It comes on the back of Miami, where you qualified 4th, finished 10th. Just how much confidence do you have coming here?
I think we've been pretty not consistent in terms of results, but at least in terms of performance. I feel like we've had a pretty good package for all these different tracks we've been to this year, and that gives some confidence that this track could be okay as well. I don't think our car has any specific weaknesses or specific strength. I think it's pretty overall. We're in the mix in top 10. We saw in Miami that was a race where everyone finished. There was not even a yellow flag in the race, and we finished 10th, which with everyone finishing and no sort of strategic advantage like a safety car or anything like that, we were in the top 10 still. So I think that's where we aim to be every race, trying to get into the top 10 and score points.
All right, well, best of luck this weekend. Checo, coming to you now. Brilliant race here last year to take victory, but this year, how vulnerable does Red Bull feel coming into the weekend?
We certainly know that it's not our strongest circuit, no? Where we will struggle a bit to show our strengths, but it's still Monaco. I think come Saturday, you really need a good warm-up on your tire. That definitely is a key around here. And I just have to say that, let's say it's not our strongest circuit, but we will see. It's still Monaco and anything can happen.
Who are the main threats? Do you see Fernando as a threat? Is Ferrari a threat?
Certainly, I think, Fernando, the Ferraris, I do expect them to be quite strong as well, like they were in Baku, and obviously over one lap around this place. They will be strong, so yeah, I do expect them to be quite strong, and also Mercedes can be in the mix.
And as a track, tell us about driving Monaco. Does it require a different approach to other street circuits?
Yeah, probably Monaco. It's one of those that it's a full street circuit that wherever you are in the circuit, normally if you make a mistake, you will end up in the wall. There is no margin for errors. Sunday can be quite boring for the fans, but not for the driver itself, because at any point you can make a mistake and finish your race. And I think here we all enjoyed too much Saturday when we were to qualify, and we know that it's everything that counts.
Now, it's been a great battle between you and Max this year, just 14 points the gap between you. He won last time out in Miami. How important is it that you finish ahead of him here?
Yeah, it's certainly important. I don't want him to start building that gap on points. So obviously, every weekend it's a new opportunity to reduce the distance.
Okay, best of luck to you. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you for waiting. Let's throw it back to Miami. A frustrating race for McLaren. Do you understand why the car struggled so much there?
Yeah, I think going into the weekend we had a feeling that some of the corners might not suit us very well, and it turned out to be the case. In the race for both myself and Lando, we had both some issues, so I think it made it look even worse than it was. But yeah, in saying that, I think we've analysed that quite heavily, and hopefully we can make some steps to improve in those kind of conditions.
Do you think the layout of Monaco will suit the car better?
I hope so. I think also it's supposed to be a lot colder than Miami was, which we think was part of our issue as well. So yeah, obviously a very different circuit here to Miami. So hopefully it suits us a bit better. But in saying that, we need to address our weaknesses in other areas too.
Now, you've raced at Monaco before, a couple of podiums in Formula 2. What are you expecting from the track in Formula 1? How different is it going to feel?
Faster, that's for sure. I think the first time I went to Saudi this year was quite an eye-opener how much quicker Sector 1 is in an F1 car. So I think everywhere around here will feel a lot quicker, but we've got 3 hours of practice, so which is nice compared to the 45 minutes I used to have around here. So yeah, it's a lot of time to get used to it. Obviously, you want to try and start on the front foot and build yourself up from a good starting point, but yeah, we've got time, and obviously it could be mixed conditions as well. So I think depending on the session, it could be very different for everyone.
And a great livery by McLaren this weekend, the Triple Crown livery. Do you fancy the Indy 500?
Not particularly, to be honest. When I saw 240 something miles an hour into turn 1, that's yeah. If you get it wrong, it's going to hurt. I think, Fernando, does it hurt? You didn't crash, but
I did.
You did crash. Does it hurt? Okay, so there's your answer. Maybe after F1, but not anytime soon.
All right. Look, thanks to all of you. Let's open this to the floor. Name and publication, please.
Hello, David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Question for Fernando. Honda, 2026. I know it's only 3 years away, but I think you turn 45 in 2026. So are you still harbouring ambitions to be racing?
44.
You're 44?
I will be 44.
Okay. Well worked out. So 44 then, even better than 45. You're still harbouring ambitions to be racing at that stage in your life, and any issues racing with a Honda engine once again, given what happened the last time?
No, I mean, I don't know what I will do in 2026. I will lie if I tell you that I know right now. For sure, I feel fresh. I feel motivated now. I feel sharp, still fast, and if I keep enjoying, I will love to keep racing. But it's gonna be one time. I know that one day I will wake up and I will not feel maybe motivated or happy to keep traveling and all these kind of things. So. Or maybe I don't feel fast, and I will be the first one to raise my hand and say, maybe it's time. So let's see. I think it's a long way until 2026. I will focus first of all in Monaco now, because I think it's an important weekend, and then this season, next one, hopefully we can make another step and fight for bigger things. And then racing again with Honda, no, it's going to be no problem at all from my side. I know that it didn't work out last time, 2015, 16, 17. It was even worse maybe for some of my teammates, like a Stoffel or whatever, coming from dominating F3, F2, and then joining the project that maybe was not fully ready back then. But, I think they prove that they have now a competitive package. They won the championship in 21. They won in championship in 22. Most likely will win the championship in 23. So I think they have now a very strong package, and it's a new set of regulations, but I think it will be a very exciting project for sure.
Certainly looks very entertaining, doesn't it, as well? The prospect of having Fernando Alonso back with Honda after the GP2 engine remarks as well. We will keep an update on all of that as well as the time comes in. Also, as well, we just want to send our continued support and all our thoughts and prayers with the people of the Emilia-Romagna region as well, after the horrific flooding they've had over the past 2 weeks as well. That's caused the cancellation of the race as well. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and hopefully everybody is very quickly safe as well. And our thoughts as well with the 14 people currently reported to have been killed as well. Coming into Monaco, Lewis Hamilton has been rumoured that he is going to be joining Ferrari. News broke on Tuesday that a £45 million deal was put on the table for Lewis to leave Mercedes and join Ferrari for 2024. That, however, does look like to be rumours, and it has been squashed by both Frederick Vasseur and Lewis Hamilton coming in to this weekend as well. So it looks like that has gone away, which is a shame in my opinion, because I did quite like the idea of having Lewis at Ferrari after winning maybe an 8th title. But we're going to hear from Lewis Hamilton shortly in the drivers' press conference as well. Just saw a tweet come through as well saying, Charles, what do you look for in a teammate? And apparently he said, hello, Lewis. So we'll hear from that shortly as well. The press conference took part some time ago. We're showing it just after the Formula 2 and Formula 3 practice sessions have concluded. But we come here as well, looking stronger. Red Bull says Max Verstappen on where is it? Hang on, where is it? Where's that image just gone? I want to get that tweet back up. Here we go. Max Verstappen on red flags in Q3 at Monaco. I just needed to do a good lap in the first run. I guess it happens. Most of the time, it's not on purpose as well. So that's Max on red flags as well. So very interesting weekend coming here, of course. This is a year on, of course, since Perez allegedly crashing deliberately, and Max and his relationship starting to get a little bit worse for wear. So it looks like we're going to be in for a juicy one. I apologise for the background. We did want to have the Monaco Harbour in as our green screen, but I was going to set it up, but apparently they've moved it from 3:30 to 3 when they were showing the press conference, which means we've had to move our times as well. So we will have the Monaco Harbour as our backdrop for qualifying and the race on Sunday as well. So don't going to miss anything there. Okay, second half of the press conference is coming up. We'll also hear from some of the drivers after the second run in the cool-down room. So we will hear from some drivers there. So I think Ted Kravitz on the interviews as well as Rachel Brooks and Natalie Pinkham are all there. So it's going to be fun coming into this weekend. Just seeing as well that there's some others talking through as well about what's happening with this weekend, with some other drivers coming in, and we're going to see hopefully some Friday running actually for some drivers tomorrow. So don't know if this can be the first time we see, because everyone's mandatory to give up their car for at least one practice session per year. Monaco arguably is the least amount of data across them. So I think we're going to see a few Friday drivers in practice one tomorrow. If not here, then we'll hear it in Barcelona as well soon. But we are about to cross back over to Tom Clarkson for the second half of the press conference. Here it is now.
Look, welcome back to part 2 of our drivers' press conference. We are joined now by Valtteri Bottas, Charles Leclerc, Pierre Gasly, Lewis Hamilton and Alex Albon. Welcome, guys. Hometown hero, first of all. Charles, your home race, just how does it feel to be racing again on these streets that you know so well?
Oh, I mean, as good as last year and the years before, it's always very special for me because those are the streets where I've grown up. I know this city by heart. Wherever I go on the track, I've got some friends living right over the track and can see the race from their apartment. So it's very, very special for me.
Yeah, and this racetrack owes you a dose of luck, doesn't it? Because you've been so unlucky in Formula 1, even in Formula 2.
I do not believe too much in luck, but it's true that when you see the records here, it's not always been easy on race day. But Saturday was good, which I hope we can reproduce a good performance this Saturday with a better Sunday this time.
Well, let's talk about performance. You took 2 pole positions in Baku a couple of races ago. How do you rate your chances this weekend?
I mean, honestly, I think Red Bull is still the team to beat. With a special lap, maybe we can beat them in qualifying. In the race, they are extremely quick. But again, on a track like this, overtaking is very difficult. So, yeah. And not only Red Bull is quick. Aston Martin will be in the mix. Mercedes arrived with a very different looking car, which I'm curious to see how it performs. And yeah, and then we need to see where we are and what's possible.
Is this the most unpredictable race of the season so far?
I mean, not really in a way, because I still believe Red Bull is the fastest.
Okay, look, one final question from me, Charles. There's been a bit of speculation in the media recently with regards to your future partner at Ferrari. What do you look for in a teammate?
Hello, Lewis. Well, I mean, a fast teammate, as everybody. We are in Formula One, and we love to be fighting against the best. But that's not to say that my teammate is not fast. Carlos is an extremely fast driver. But yeah, considering that, I mean, I'm not the person who makes the choices. So yeah, let's see.
Would you welcome Lewis?
If I say yes, I imagine it being the title of every newspaper. But I mean, Lewis is such an incredible driver, has achieved so much in the sport. So I think anybody on the grid will love to have Lewis as a teammate, as everybody will learn a lot from him. But yeah, again, I'm happy where I am, and with Carlos, it's a great relationship too.
Well done. Thank you. Lewis, can we bring you in on this? What about these Ferrari stories?
Well, firstly, thank you for the nice words. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I think naturally with when you're in contract negotiations, there's always going to be speculation. And I think ultimately that's, unless you hear from me, then that's what it is. So,
where do you think these stories have come from?
Well, there's a certain individual in this room that's written at least one of them, but yeah, I don't know. I think maybe with the weekend, last weekend with the race being cancelled, maybe they just got bored and started to. But yeah, I think, as I said, my team's like working closely behind the scenes with Toto. We're almost at the end of having the contract ready, so. They're having the team focus on that, so I can just do my job. It's a much better position than I was in before, because I remember I used to do all my negotiations on my own, and it was very stressful. So I don't have to do that anymore.
Let's talk about the job then. You said in Miami that you were counting the days until the upgrades were going to be on your car. Well, that day's pretty much with us now. Can you describe the sense of anticipation in the garage?
Yes, I mean, through the whole factory. I was there last week as we were preparing for the weekend, and also we got the news, which I think was the right decision, and all of us were really thinking of what was happening there in the region, Emilia, and yeah, I think it was the right decision. But I'm grateful that we are here. The upgrades will be difficult to see just how it works at this kind of track, but I'm hopeful that it puts us a little bit closer to these guys, so we can, you know, I don't think we'll be fighting for a win necessarily, but hopefully we'll be more in a fight.
All right, best of luck with that. Thank you. Pierre, can I come to you now? And can you clarify something for all of us, please? Is it true that you tackled Charles in the charity football match despite being on the same team?
Completely untrue. Not this year. This happened once, but it wasn't this year. We're all saying.
Yeah, I think it happened again.
Oh, yeah?
I have the picture, but I did not know that it was you, and I think you didn't know that it was me. But we were fighting for the ball. And then I saw
it may have happened.
Like,
let's say our level is still to be improved.
Well,
yeah, exactly. I was just giving him support. It just like started to fight around. Most important, we won that game. You know, that's all that matters.
Thanks to us.
yeah. How are the legs? You did the full 90, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a nice workout, and no, honestly, it's very.
Not fit no more.
Yeah.
No, it was a bit wrong size, yeah. But no, yeah, football was great, good workout, and it was great to team up, with Carlos and Charles just ahead of the weekend and taking it slightly more easy. Yeah.
Let's talk about on-track performance now. What can we expect from you and Alpine here in Monaco?
I think it's important for us to build up on Miami. We showed slightly better pace, I think, in the last race and scoring points with both cars. Obviously, ultimately, we want to do better than what we've been showing since the start of the year, and hopefully we can build up from there this weekend. Yeah.
So it's all about consistency for you guys.
Well, first we need to find consistency, and then I don't think we are miles behind, Ferrari and Mercedes right in front of us. So definitely we got some potential. We need to unlock a bit more from the package we have. Got small bits coming there and there, weekend after weekend, and hopefully that can close the gap with these guys. Yeah.
There was a bit of criticism from the management over the Miami Grand Prix. What is the vibe like inside Alpine at the minute?
I think we all share the same ambitions inside the team. We all want to see the team performing at the top and fighting for better position than what we've been doing so far. And I wouldn't say it's criticism, but more the eager and the will and the desire to be right there at the top. And everybody is trying their best. I trust the team in the progress they've been showing over the last couple of years, and we've had a slightly slower start than what we would have liked and wanted. But no, yeah, we just need to keep our head down and keep progressing weekend after weekend and just moving forward and find some more performance over the next couple of weekends. Yeah.
All right, good luck with that. Thank you. Valtteri, if we can come to you now. Sadly, no Grand Prix last weekend, of course, but you kept yourself busy. Tell us what you got up to.
It was actually, well, first of all, it's pretty terrible what happened out there, and I hope the support keeps going. So it was a surreal feeling on Wednesday. Everything was packed. I was about to leave from here to drive to Imola, and I got a call, it's cancelled, stay home. And then I was like, what do I do now? And there was this gravel cycling race in Scotland that my girlfriend was doing anyway. She was there, so I found a flight and got myself and managed to get an entry to this World Series race. And I had to race something because I was so hyped for Imola.
Yeah, well, and Olympic triathlete Alistair Brownlee was in the race. Did you beat him?
Yes, I did actually.
Very good. Very impressive. Look, let's talk all things Monaco then. You had your first Q3 of the season in Miami last time out. Was that track specific or a genuine step up that's going to help you here?
I think we saw a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, let's say, in Miami, in qualifying. We managed to find good setup, good rhythm, and it just shows that it is so close that once you get everything right, you can actually achieve much better results than example the race before. So that was good to see, and we want to keep that momentum. We were planning upgrades for Imola, so now obviously trialing those here, and hopefully it gives us an extra boost. But we're working as hard as we can to get where we want to be, which is not been the case so far this year.
Okay, best of luck with that. Thank you, Alex. Coming to you. Thank you for thank you for waiting. First up, how was the charity sim race that you contested in aid of the Emilia-Romagna region?
It was okay. It was good fun. I didn't have the old teammates back, so it was a little bit lonely, a bit more lonely than it was 2-3 years ago now. But it was for a good cause. We raised good money, and it was. It's kind of embarrassing actually, because the esports guys, there was 7 or 8 of them, and they're over a second quicker than you, and you don't feel good. You lose your confidence. I'm going into this weekend with less confidence than I started.
And in fact, you were disqualified, weren't you?
I was, for blue flags, which was a good timing from last year. But anyway, no, but last year I got, anyway.
There's an in-joke there.
It was good. It was good fun.
All right, well, look, what about this weekend?
Yeah, but last year was for the real GP.
Last year was for real life, but anyway.
Look, what about this weekend then? Do you have a reason to believe that this car will go better around Monaco than last year's?
Yeah, I do. I feel like every track we've been to this year has been a huge improvement. It's been great to go into FP1s and you're already feeling better than you did in qualifying last year. Half the time we're actually even quicker already straight away than we were last year. So there's a lot of confidence, a lot of satisfaction as well driving the car compared to last year. So this track's a bit specific. I would say that a lot of the advantages with our new car is more high speed related. So when you come to a track like Monaco, it goes away a little bit. But let's see, I think Monaco is a little bit of an outlier to the other circuits we go to, and some teams can perform better than others just due to this unique layout.
Is there a sense of frustration inside the team? Because you've only got 1/3 of the points that you had at this stage last year.
True, but we're not talking. When you say a third, you think about multiple points, but we're in single digits last year, and we are this year. The main thing for us is that the car really is in a better platform, and I would actually say the opposite. Not frustrated at all, but actually very optimistic and positive about how this season's gone so far. Of course, we haven't scored as many points, but if you actually look at our true pace, there aren't many teams DNFing anymore. There aren't strange races happening. The one race there was in Melbourne, unfortunately. I had a mistake myself, so I actually look at this year very positively, and hopefully we can keep building on it through the season.
All right, and best of luck this weekend. Let's open this to the floor now. Name and publication, please.
David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Good afternoon, everyone. Lewis, got a question for you. Love a bit of speculation. We've had a bit of speculation over the years. I feel we've been here before, but I suppose what's different this time is that your contract's coming up for renewal at a time where your team isn't doing quite so well, and you've not been afraid of making a bold decision to swap teams in the past. So does the current form that Mercedes are in have any bearing on your ideas of where you want to be for the future? And have Ferrari made any contact at all to either yourself or your representations?
Firstly, no, it doesn't have a bearing, I think, because I don't feel like we're still a championship winning team. It's just we've had the wrong car. We've made, there have been some decisions that have been made over the past 2 years that have not been ideal, and we're working our way through that. Most of all the energy is going towards, we have a new upgrade this weekend. The team have worked incredibly hard to bring this upgrade. We already, after Bahrain, decided that that's what we were going to do, and so I was a little bit gutted when the last race got cancelled because I was excited to try this new package. And so, and whilst here is not the best platform to track-wise to really see those come to fruition, we'll hopefully experience that more next week. And otherwise, as I said, my team are chatting, having discussions with the team in the background, and we're almost there. So.
And have Ferrari been in touch?
No.
Have Ferrari been in touch was another one of those questions as well we were hearing up here. I've switched over to a headset for one very good reason. We're about to hear from some of the drivers as well that have been talking in the media pen as well, because there's so much going on in Formula One these days that nobody ever truly knows about as well. But the one thing I want to talk about right now, Craig Slater, we heard as well from Lewis Hamilton just talking there, how much is this engine actually going to make a difference? How much is it actually going to be looking quick or being quick? Let's hear from Craig Slater now.
How much of a difference could this make for Mercedes?
Well, if you're a Lewis Hamilton fan, if you're interested in Lewis Hamilton staying at Mercedes, if you're interested in his prospects of winning an 8th World Championship, then this change that Mercedes are making to their car, fundamental change, is going to be absolutely pivotal in deciding whether that happens. Here are the first television pictures, as I understand it, of the revamped Mercedes, essentially a B-spec. You can see it's in bits at the moment. It's not been fully assembled. The key aspect relates to that side of the car, the side pods. This was the car that famously had no side pods. Now it has side pods which look more or less like the rest of the field. I have to say they're not as finely refined as, say, the Red Bull's side pod design. They look a bit, to me, a little bit like the Williams or the Alpine, but it's also Key to this, got a revised front suspension as well, and the floor of the car is changed too. In fact, I noticed a tunnel under the side floor which will aid the aerodynamic performance of that car. But Mercedes cannot just simply copy the Red Bull mid-season, because that would involve such significant re-engineering. They'd probably break the cost cap. It might not be feasible to do. Lewis Hamilton, for example, wants his seating position in the car changed. I don't think they'll be able to. That won't happen this year. That'll have to happen next year. These are coming in at an odd track, these modifications, so Mercedes themselves are telling us don't expect too much, but now they believe they are on the right track. Maybe 18 months too late, but they're on a track which hopefully will convince Lewis Hamilton from a Mercedes perspective that this is the best team to stick with.
Fingers crossed it is the best team to stick with, and it's not looking too bad as well. Okay, looking ahead to the weekend, we have got 2 practice sessions for you tomorrow. On Saturday, it's practice 3 and qualifying. Sunday is the race as well. We've also got live coverage of Formula 3 and Formula 2 this weekend. We're just trying to work out what we're doing with the Porsche Super Cup. So join us for everything. It's going to be absolutely epic. Thanks for your company here today. We'll see you tomorrow, 10:05 a.m. for Formula 3 qualifying. Bye-bye.